and play because I'm gonna go ahead and transition into Lecrae. Now, for those of you who don't know who Lecrae is, he's a Christian rapper. He had that one song, "Being Broke Made Me Rich." That's the song that I like. I don't know any other songs, but he had that one song, right? His music sounds more like as the church would call it, like worldly music and stuff like that, right? And so he's kind of been one of those who've been kind of shunned out of the church. Like he still claims to be a Christian, but they kind of shun him out because he's not the typical Christian person that people love, right? Yeah, he's very popular, you know. He kind of makes the same music that Mary Mary makes because you know how Mary Mary make trap stripper music. They kind of he makes like the same kind of music they make. Don't y'all know Mary Mary make music for city girls, you know? Okay, Rich, we gonna get into it. Don't even worry. I'm gonna let you know what he was saying. I'm gonna go ahead and rewind it back. Of course, I'm gonna play it on my phone.
And I'm like,
okay. And this is on Lecrae's channel, by the way.
You know, they'll
hold on, y'all. Okay, here we go. Where he talks about the Diddy parties.
Say, there are people who will test you. There are people who will see how far your limits are. And if you're willing to take a step, then they'll take two.
Hold on, let me rewind it back.
You know, it's like trying to get a chick drunk. Right? So
okay, this was a clip that he listened to. I wasn't even gonna
say nothing about this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I've been to a couple Diddy parties. Now, I'm risking a lot by saying this because I know as soon as I say that, all the assumptions are going to come in and and if I don't say evil things were taking place, then I'm covering for them. And if I do say evil things were taking place, then I'm one of them ones like, yeah, Lecrae, expose it. You know what I'm saying? And I've been to lots of parties. I've been to Jamie Foxx. I've been with Snoop, T.I. Like, I've been to lots of places. Here's what I'll say. There are people who will test you. There are people who will see how far your limits are. And if you're willing to take a step, then they'll take two.
Okay, so he kind of easing you into it because, you know, he said basically he damned if he do and he damned if he don't say, you know, what he's seeing at these Diddy parties and stuff like that. But he just doesn't talk about Diddy. He talks about the whole industry in general.
I, in my personal experience, never saw anything where someone was like, you can't move any further unless you do X, Y, or Z. But what I did see was if you do X, Y, or Z, well, keep coming because you know, and that's how we all are. It's Psalm 1, right? It says, blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, who does not stand in the way of sinners, who does not sit in the seat of mockers. You start walking, they gonna walk with you, and now you find yourself standing. They like, oh, you stand? Well, if you stand, come sit. Now, next thing you know, you...
Okay, so from what I got about that, he was basically saying in the industry, they ask you, are you down with the Freaknik, right? And so they ask you like, hey, you down to, you know, are you with it? And so that's what he means by stand on it. Like, are you with it? And basically, if you choose to, then you're allowed in certain areas. You know, you're allowed to sit, but actually means you allowed in certain areas. But if you say, no, I'm not down with that, then, you know, they just let you go about your business. And so he's going to tell his answer what, you know,
and so it was never a situation where I felt forced to sit. It wasn't situations where I was asked, do you stand? Do you stand? And I'm like, I don't stand. Oh, okay, cool. And then I was left alone. It's like, oh, he's not about that life. He's not with it. I'm leaving him alone. And this is what I'll say, and I won't say whose party I was at or.
Okay, but before we get into that, okay, so he's not gonna say what he was asked. He was just saying like, "Oh, do you stand?" So he's not gonna tell us. But I'm all like, you already kind of opened Pandora's box. You might as well just ask like, what they were asking you to do, and let us know. But as he tell you this next story, you're gonna be able to find out what he mean by stand.
Situation, right? I was at one of these parties, and for me, I'll be honest, it was a mix of work, because this is oftentimes where you go to connect with people, where you go to meet people. And I have met people here, and I have built bonds, and they have said, I have met actors and celebrities who said, man, thank you for being here. I needed your presence here. You're the reason why I know God is walking with me. And we've had conversations since where they're like, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Because how you going to be a light if you never in the dark? Now, if you cannot handle being in the dark, stay up out of certain places, right? Don't play tug of war by yourself. I never went to these events by myself. I was always with people who were walking in the light, and we always had a mission. It was never just to go.
So I've seen some of the backlash with Lecrae. They're kind of like, why are you going to Diddy parties? Like, you're supposed to be a Christian rapper. You're supposed to be a forget the rapper part, but you're supposed to be a Christian. Why are you going to Diddy parties? What's up, Priscilla? Why are you going to Diddy parties and stuff like that? And so right here, he's trying to justify why he went. He's trying to be a light, in the sea of darkness, all that good stuff. But I still find it very odd. And this would have me thinking like, okay, when I heard the TD Jakes thing going to the parties, I thought, no, like, you guys are crazy. Like, I didn't report on that. I didn't report on it until the whole Manasseh situation happened, right? But after hearing Lecrae talk about how he was at the parties, I was all like, oh, he in the Christian. So I could definitely see TD Jakes at a Diddy party. Now, I know some people are like, oh, there's no proof that he was at a Diddy party. The pictures that we see, it just seemed like it was two friends hanging out and not necessarily at a party. But why wouldn't he not go to a party? It seems like everybody's invited, but they want to see who's down for the cause. That's what I got from it. Everybody's invited to these parties. Like, it's not so exclusive. It's if you want to go to the next level, that's when it's more like, okay, we're going to figure out who you are before we invite you over into the next section or the next level or next phase of the freak off. Anyway.
There and wild out and be stupid. But the other side of the coin is, yes, if I'm a human, so I'm frail. I'm gonna be honest with you. There was moments for me of like, oh my gosh, I'm here. I'm part of the crew. Like, look at me. Yes, I struggle with acceptance and wanting to be associated with greatness. And I got caught up in some of that nonsense internally, right? But you would have never known that. What I will say is that one particular party, lots of, right? But you would have never known that. What I will say is, don't play tug of war by yourself. I never went to these events by myself. I was always with people.
I want to rewind that.
Walking in the light, and we always had a mission. It was never just to go in there and wild out and be stupid. But the other side of the coin is, yes, if I'm a human, so I'm frail. I'm gonna be honest with you. There was moments for me of like, oh my gosh, I'm here. I'm part of the crew. Like, look at me. Yes, I struggle with acceptance and wanting to be associated with greatness. And I got caught up in some of that nonsense internally.
Okay, so he's saying that he got caught up with, wanting to be a part of the in crowd internally. Because I was thinking like, okay, well, what were you thinking like internally? Were you thinking like, I need to get down with the get down in order so I can elevate and hang around these people? Or like, what were you struggling with internally? Like, was there drugs, alcohol, sex? What was at these parties? Sorry I had to say it like that, but I don't want the algorithm to pick up on the words. But what kind of temptation was there? Like, what did it have you thinking about internally? Because if you ain't down with it, you just ain't down with it. I don't think you have to have an internal conversation with yourself,
right? But you would have never known that. What I will say is that one particular party,
okay, Jay.
lots of big names, there was an artist there who said, "Hey, Lecrae, around 1 a.m., make sure you're not here." And I was like, "What? You just don't want to be here at 1 in the morning." And I was like, now my pride kicked in, like, yo, you don't know me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can handle myself. Like, I'm not some little church boy who ain't never seen nothing. Like, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you talking about? Well, it's probably 12:30. I'm downstairs. I go downstairs to the studio. I come up out the studio, and I'm headed back upstairs to like the main area where everyone's kind of congregating and hanging out. And the music changed. It was like really hard and heavy at first, and then, you know, like jam and dancing music. It was a little softer. You know, it was a little more sensual when I came out the studio and started going upstairs. And on my way upstairs, there's like this couch. I won't say how the couch is designed, because then that may give away whose party and whose house this was. There was a couch, and on the couch, I saw a couple of guys really going at it hard and heavy. And
listen,
man, and I was like, oh, you know, my brain, I'm thinking, well, you know, the celebrity party, people do what they do. As I started moving upstairs, I passed them up, and I noticed that it wasn't just those two guys. It was more and more people just going at it. I was like, okay, it's time for me to roll. I'm going to grab my stuff and I'm going to get up out of here. I did not know that's how this went down. So was that shocking? Absolutely. Was I forced or coerced into anything? I was not. But
now what I'm wondering is what kind of chairs did he see? He said, like, if you see the chairs, it'll be a giveaway of like who it is. Like, the only person I can think of like who has like, and I know it's not him obviously because the time period, but Michael Jackson, remember like his like furniture and artwork and pieces like that are like very strange, and like you would recognize like a Michael Jackson piece. Who else has like furniture that we know or we see? Like, I want to get some of y'all opinion, because like this, when I heard this, it tripped me out, because I'm all like, who furniture has like something, you know, what's up, Elizabeth? Like, who has like significant kind of furniture that you would know who the person is? Because again, this was not a Diddy party. Someone was telling them like, hey, around 1 a.m. it get kind of crazy, you know, you might want to leave. And he seen there was 3 artists in a tent, and then a whole bunch of women walked in. That was one. Then he moved in the house. He seen 2 guys getting it on, and then he went upstairs, and everybody was getting it on. And so, and he said, if he described how the furniture looked, you guys will know who it is. Yeah, I feel like they all have custom furniture. Like, what? But who has something to where you would know who it is? And he's saying that this is not Diddy. Like, I'm trying to think of like what celebrity has like what do you call it? Like gaudy furniture, like stuff like that's kind of like tacky that sticks out. The only other house I can think of, remember the Osbournes used to have a show? The Osbournes used to have a show, and like, you know, they had like they were like the Antichrist family and all that stuff, and they had crazy shit. And like, I would know a piece from the Osbourne house because I'm all like, oh, it looks dark. You know, it has a look to it. But I'm all like, okay, Lecrae, who house was it? And we would know the furniture if he said who it was. I feel like people get their stuff from Pottery Barn, Restoration Hardware. You know, there's a few luxury furniture places that they can get their stuff from, but I feel like that's where all of them shop at. Like, it's nothing significant where I'll be like, oh yeah, I know this person's furniture. You described it well. That's like saying like, oh, I think this person has a black chair. I'm sitting in a black chair. So would that make it me? Prince? Yeah, that's what I'm all like. Could it be Prince, y'all? Because when Lecrae came out, he came out, y'all, because I was thinking Michael Jackson, but no, Prince would have Yo! No, Prince was a Jehovah's Witness before he passed away. I don't know if he was having parties like that. Y'all think it might have been Prince? I know we going to hell because we saying people that ain't even living on this earth no more. The Kardashians? Because don't the Kardashians, correct me if I'm wrong, don't they have like white furniture? It gotta be, okay, it gotta be the Kardashians, Kanye West, because he's connected to him. Somebody said Candy. Y'all think, who said Candy? Yo, I don't know. Does Lecrae live in Atlanta or does he live in Los Angeles, you guys? What's up, Naughty? Right, all people, you know, he hanging out with people who got money, so it's kind of like you really don't know. I, yeah, that has me thinking. AT, no, we will never guess. Yeah. This fool got us like thinking like, who the hell? Hold on, let me see where Lecrae is from. What's up, Melanie? Because now y'all got me thinking. Where does he live? Why am I struggling to spell this? It might not tell you. Oh, Atlanta. Oh, Rick Ross. Yeah. T.I. and Tiny. Yo, he talks about in this interview, I don't know if I missed it, but he said he's gone to T.I. and Tiny parties. Yo. This man is probably talking about. See, I gotta get ready to get the hell up out of here. I can't mess with y'all tonight. Yo, it was probably a T.I. and Tiny party. Allegedly. But Lemon Pepper, I'm sorry, but when he said, "Oh, if I say the furniture," let me rewind it back, y'all, for those of you just coming in.
I don't know. The couch, jam and dancing music, it is a little softer. You know, it was a little more sensual when I came out the studio. I started going upstairs. And on my way upstairs, there's like this couch. I won't say how the couch is designed because then that may give away whose party and whose house this was. There was a couch, and on the couch, I saw a couple of guys really going at it hard and heavy. And man, and I was like, oh, you know, my brain, I'm thinking, well, you know, the celebrity party, people do what they do. As I started moving upstairs, I passed them up and I noticed that it wasn't just those two guys. It was more and more people just going at it. I was like, okay, it's time for me to roll. I'm going to grab my stuff and I'm going to get up out of here. I did not know that's how this went down. So was that shocking? Absolutely. Was I forced or coerced into anything? I was not.
Some of y'all saying Tyler Perry.
But why they felt that comfortable, I don't know. Maybe the invite list, they was like, yeah, all these people. I don't know. I'm shocked that it went down. But I've been to another situation, another person's party, celebrity party, and you know, a celebrity tapped me on my shoulder, and I was hanging out with them, and it was like, yo, nephew, you might want to go into the other party because this cabana, we about to close it up. And they closed up the cabana, and there was about 3 or 4 big name artists in there. And a whole bunch of ladies start walking in that cabana.
Yo, he giving us too many clues without saying who the names are. We hate these blue clues that these people do. Somebody said Larry Reid got customer.
The security guard stood in front of the door. Hey, they didn't coerce me. They didn't ask me to come in. And everybody said, you probably should not be in this cabana. You probably just want to go back out there with the cocktails and the hanging out and the hobnobbing. And shout out to my guy, Brandon T. Jackson, man. Brandon T. Jackson, you know, I don't know what he's up to these days, but at this.
So Brandon T. Jackson is the one that said he lost his career because he put on a dress in Big Mama's house. That's who he's talking about, Brandon T. Jackson. Also, Thunder. Why do I want to call it Thunder Valley? It's not called Thunder Valley. Tropic Thunder. You know, he was in that movie.
Party. Brandon T. came up to me and he said, "Yo, man, like Satan will steal your soul in this industry, bro." And he was really like, I love the fact that he felt like, he's like, I love your soul and your spirit, and I want you to thrive, Craig. I don't want you to get devoured out here. And I just appreciated that, because for him, he was like, he has seen some detriments and some of the dark side of things. And he was like, yo, I want you to be taken care of. So I say all that to say, like, I never felt like it was some secret occult or secret like thing. I felt like there were areas at certain places that were like, hey, this could be the cocaine.
So someone was trying to give him a warning. So it got to be some kind of OG. So y'all was saying that could be Snoop. What's up, Aaron? Thank you. We only got 40. Make the people hit that like button. I don't know. Who is he talking about in code? That's what we're trying to find out. Tyler Perry. I mean, he could have some parties like that, y'all. I don't know. Right. And the fact that he wanted to stay around, like they warned him, like, hey, you should leave, you should get out of here. Why don't y'all be taking warnings, y'all?
You know, I don't know. This could be the boom boom room. I don't know. But I never ventured into those places. You know, that wasn't my thing. And when I felt like something was moving to a level past where my witness or my like conscience would be messed with, I'm out of there. It's not for me. But somebody got to be in these places and spaces, right? Like somebody got to be there, you know, to be.
I'm gonna talk about this.
You know, in these environments. Now, I'm not saying somebody got to be at the strip club, or don't misconstrue my words. What I'm saying is someone has to be in environments where people congregate and you can get to know them and you can build relationships. You know what I'm saying? These were not like, it's not just wild and people hanging from the ceilings everywhere. It's really just people hanging around by the pool, talking, having conversations. Some people dancing, some people walking. You know, oh, what's up, Jimmy Iovine? What's up, Madonna? Chris Brown? How y'all doing?
Now he knows.
You talking. You have a whole conversation. You can share your whole testimony standing next to somebody by Jamie Foxx's pool. You know what I'm saying? So again, it wasn't one of those situations where it was crazy. And I've been to tons of these industry events, like tons of them. So it's, what do you want to get yourself into? You know, if you want to get in trouble, you can. But I don't feel like my career will. And yes, sure, I probably could have found some way to finesse it for my career if I really was trying. But it's like, is that what you really want? Do you want it?
So he's saying like he should have finessed it for his career. Like I thought about it to finesse it for my career. So you were gonna do X, Y, and Z. Mind you, he didn't say what X, Y, and Z is. Well, he kind of did. So you could have either been in the cabana with all the girls and the 3 other artists. You could have been making out with the 2 guys that were making out, or you could have been upstairs in the sex party. So you thought about those things like, damn, maybe there's some way I can finesse it. This is sounding like you know, what Couture was saying. It sounded like he wanted to join. Because why did you go? Listen, I only got to go to one freak off before I know I don't want to go to another one. And then he's talking about the way he's trying to like overcompensate, like someone needs to be there to, you know, give the word of God. I don't think God told you to go to a freak off, you know? I don't think he told you that. Like, he didn't say, like, please go to a freak off. Like, I want to be able to go to a freak off. So to give the word. I just don't know if God said that. I think there's certain places where Jesus did not go. I don't think he went everywhere. You know, he knew that there was some certain. Now I want to get the Bible freaks in here to cuss me out. But I feel like Jesus knew there were certain areas of where not to go, where temptation was just going to be all over and he could not go there. But this fool saying, well, damn, I should have finessed it. Jesus didn't say, "Oh, let me finesse these people in order to." No, 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 no. He just gave them the word. Now, what he's talking about is like, well, I kind of thought about it. Like, why not, get to a certain level? And let me say, I've never been propositioned to get to the next level of YouTube. I don't think I don't think there's a secret society in YouTube that I can join or anything like that. And I'm not saying I would, but yeah, crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to a little bit more.
Get yourself intertwined with the deeds of darkness and Satan, and now you got to unwind yourself from all of that. Is that really what you desire? Or do you want to be straight and narrow and go to bed at night with a clear conscience and wake up in the morning and see that God is infinitely more powerful, and I'd rather trust in him than all of that nonsense? I love these ones. They're my favorite.
Okay. All right. So that's the end of that. But yeah, after Lecrae said he was at the parties, I was like, well, now it's not too far-fetched to think that TD Jakes wouldn't have been at these parties too as well. So it just really had me thinking. I was like, oh, like this fool was there at the parties doing whatever, and this fool talking about Lecrae was tempted. He was all like, well, I should have finessed it a little bit better, so then I could have probably got a little further. And this is why I think if you are strong in your faith, you shouldn't even want to go. Like, nobody's going to be like, have you heard the word yet? At a party where they sniffing lines and, and doing all this shit. While I'm doing my lines, I'm not worried about getting the word. I'm a pray that there's nothing else mixed with the, I'm gonna pray that there's nothing else mixed with it, but I'm not trying to get the word while I'm doing and all that at a party. Like, come on now. Lecrae, just say you wanted to be there. You wanted to be a part of it. You were tempted, but you didn't do it. That's it. But you frequently going back to these parties lets me know you are trying to get in the in crowd, but I don't know if maybe they refused you. And this is why you're feeling that way. What's up, Anita? Maybe they refused you. However, it sounded like you was almost with it. That's what I got from it. Do y'all think Lecrae was actually with what was going on, or do you think that he stood strong? He said, do you stand? And he said, no, I don't stand. Like, let me know what your thoughts. 30 seconds while you guys type it out. Yeah, he was very curious. He probably didn't do anything sinful, just scoping. Right, definitely could be. But he do seem he was a little too curious. He kept going to these parties thinking they were going to be a different outcome. No, it's the same. It was the same ring on going on. Oh, than what he expected. Okay, could be, definitely. Yeah, he put himself in there multiple different times, like thinking he was going to get a different result. Now, I will say this: maybe he was all like, oh, if I go to this party, it'll be a different outcome. But usually it's kind of the same people all hanging out together. When you're in that Hollywood, it's an exclusive club. And I know some people be all like, Atlanta is not Hollywood. It Hollywood adjacent, just kind of like New York. New York isn't Hollywood, but if it was acting in New York or something to the entertainment business, it all funnels back to Hollywood. It all funnels back there. Actually, it funnels overseas, but it all funnels back to Hollywood no matter what. So it is what it is. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'll probably splice this part up into 2 parts because I know this is kind of weird for the Megan, and then talk about the old TD Jakes and all that stuff. So, oh, you say Tyler does. Okay, hey, I can't disagree with you. But anyway, you guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I didn't get any Cash App, PayPal, Venmos, but if you send one later, you know I'll definitely thank you. But I love y'all for watching. I need to get the heck up out of here. I don't know if I'll be back tonight or not because I might go out after I go to my friends. So hopefully I have a good time. But anyway, I love y'all. Deuces, be safe and tell somebody you love them.